Welcome back to GMSA at 9. We're coming up on 9:13 on your Wednesday morning. While students missing school is becoming a big problem right here in San Antonio. A new study found that around 1 in 4 kids are missing 10% of the school year. Devin Karp dives into the topic of chronic absenteeism, who's helping, and what families can also do, and what this also means for school funding across the city.
The new study from City Education Partners shows 1 in 4 kids in San Antonio are chronically absent, a problem that's nearly doubled since the pandemic.
Chronically absent is missing 1 in 10 school days, which is about 18 days. When you think about school being something like 8 or 9 months of the year, you're talking about 2 or 3 days a month. That's pretty serious. Studies show us that students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out before graduating high school.
It's not just affecting education, it's affecting funding. Every day a student isn't in school, the district loses money. That's roughly $60 per student per day, according to the nonprofit. And when you think about big districts like Northside, Northeast, and San Antonio ISD, that can add up fast.
So if you have chronic absenteeism of just 10% of your students, it could be about $100,000 in funding for the year.
CEP says the schools that focus on community, building relationships, and working with nonprofits like United Way to solve medical and transportation barriers are already helping the problem.
When a student feels like a school is a safe place for them, a joyful place for them, it's somewhere they want to be every day.
If you want to see how your specific child's school is doing, you could read the report online and use this interactive website to check out results for yourself. I'm Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Devin. Well, if you're trying to be a foster parent to a child who's also your relative, Texas is making this process easier. Governor Greg Abbott announced on Monday more than 100 requirements are being eliminated for Kinship foster homes. He says that cutting through the red tape will keep families together. Some changes include removing unnecessary training and requiring less documentation. All right, getting to your weather now, and Justin's been kind of geeking out on me a little bit as we talk about this northern lights, the coronal mass
ejection.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, we talked about it yesterday. We saw that there was some energy coming towards Earth, and then last night we got the colors and the geomagnetic storm that we had anticipated. But there is more on the way, RJ. So there is even talks that this could be a little bit stronger than that initial wave that we saw last night. So what's really happening here? Let's talk about it. So you got what we call the solar wind. So that's heat and charged particles that are emitted by the sun and they travel through space. This happens all the time. But what we have around the Earth is a magnetic field that more or less protects us. It acts like a shield that protects us from those particles that are emitted from the sun. But every now and then, you get these bigger waves of energy that come through. And yesterday was just a perfect example. It was 8 times stronger than what we typically see. And those charged particles head towards that magnetic field. And when that happens during a solar storm, these extra charged particles can reach the Earth's poles. And that's where you start to get the reaction with the gases in the atmosphere, and you start to get those colors and the northern lights. And if it's strong enough, you can actually see it pretty far to the south, which is what unfolded yesterday. Now, we had to use our phones to see it here. That is part of it because it has longer exposure and you can see the colors. You can't really see them with the naked eye. But we do think that as of right now, we're at a level 4 storm, and that will continue into today because there's more pockets of energy coming our way. And those allow for that line to be pretty far south, including into Texas. Now, there is some talk that there could be level 5. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, and it's always hard to say. But do keep an eye on things and get away from the city lights. That's the best advice we can give you if you want to go see it. Look north through your camera phone, and just know that this is all subject to change. But there's some very smart scientists that are watching this very closely, and we're going to keep you posted all day long on how this plays out. All right, temperatures. 61 degrees right now at the airport, 64 Converse, 63 Stinson, 60 right now in Floresville, 60 Bernie, 51 right now in Comfort. It's been a nice morning. We had humidity increase a little bit overnight, and we thought that may lead to some fog. Really didn't see a whole lot of that, but dew points are starting to jump up into the mid-50s now, and I think eventually we could be in the upper 50s, maybe close to 60 by tomorrow morning. I do think that leads to some fog. The setup is there tomorrow for that, so we'll have to watch that closely for the morning commute. High temperatures today. 81 here in San Antonio, 82 Stinson, 82 Floresville, maybe some 70s in the hill country, but in a general sense, this is going to be a warm day, well above average, and temperatures only go up from here, if you can believe that. It's not going to be very November-like going forward. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're talking mid-80s. Not only that, it's also going to be humid as humidity levels stay in place. I wish I could tell you that humidity is going to lead to some rain, but it's looking less and less promising. Our upper level low trending weaker, trending farther north, as we talked about yesterday. So really, it does not bring us any real significant rain chances. Now, it will swing east and help to push a boundary in our general vicinity by Tuesday and Wednesday, which in theory could stir up a shower or storm. But even that is, I think, the odds are going to be pretty low for that. So we'll put in a 20% chance Tuesday and probably Wednesday of next week. But in the meantime, it's just going to be warmth and humidity that we're concerned about, and maybe some morning clouds, maybe some morning fog. But this weekend, all is well. Go to Worst Fest, have fun.
Yeah, good call. We got a lot of weekend events, and at least the rain won't be impacting that.
Very true.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Justin. All right. Coming up in just a little bit, Ford is working on its new design for some of its dealerships, and it has luxury written all over it. The goal that they are trying to reach to some of their customers. And get this, the McRib is coming back, y'all. Will it be at a McDonald's near you? Maribel Aber is going to explain all this for us this morning in our Money Matters segment.
So private sector hiring declined in recent weeks. This is according to payroll firm ADP. The report showed slower job creation across several industries, especially leisure and hospitality. The decline follows a gain of more than 14,000 jobs in September. A wage growth also eased, signaling a possible cooling in the labor market. Many economists are looking to third-party reports like ADP's since federal data is paused during the government shutdown. And the McDonald's McRib, it's back. The fan favorite pork patty sandwich, shaped to resemble a rack of ribs, returns for a limited time in select markets. The McRib has rotated in and out of the menu for decades, even after its so-called farewell tour. Remember that? That was back in 2022. It'll hit most major cities starting Friday. A full nationwide map can be found at McRibLocator.com. There are several in the San Antonio area. Hey, chipmaker AMD is projecting 35% growth in 5 years, driven by what it calls insatiable demand for AI. The company CEO said this week she's expecting AMD's data center business to expand 80% in that same time frame. The AI chip market is currently dominated by NVIDIA, which is estimated to hold over 90% of the market share. NVIDIA set a global record of $5 trillion in market share this month. AMD currently stands around $387 billion.
Okay, thank you very much, Maribel. And yes, I checked, there is actually a McRib locator. Okay, moving on to some other consumer news. Ford is working on a new design for its dealerships with a focus on more hospitality and less sales pressure. They want it to feel less like a dealership and more like a hotel. The design is called Ford Signature 2.0. The automaker has built a simulation lab in Michigan featuring the new dealership design. The goal is for all of Ford's 9,000 dealerships worldwide to eventually adopt this brand new concept. The project involves new art and furniture, as well as training to help dealership staff work within that brand new environment. Okay, time now is 9:25. We're looking at 61 degrees. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9 o'clock, including this story right here. Reports of infant botulism are coming in this morning, all linked to a baby formula. What the FDA is having parents look out for this morning. Coming up on 9:30, welcome back to GMSA at 9. Well, she was handpicked to serve as a military instructor at Lackland Air Force Base, but an airman says that a traumatic traffic stop led her to leave the state entirely.
My story could have ended very differently, like many others. I know it's by the grace of God that I'm even allowed to sit here and tell you on what occurred on July 15th that day. I thought then and now my life was in danger. I've had to change jobs, and I changed jobs because I was diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety.
Do you have any clue as to why you were pulled over?
Danielle, not one, not a clue. My life will never, ever be the same. This is something I have to carry on forever.
Well, records show that officers first saw Joy Hebron driving near the northwest side. She says that she was heading to Lackland Air Force Base, where she was selected to serve as a military training instructor. She says that officers stopped her near Loop 410 and Babcock Road. Court records show that officers ordered her to get out of the vehicle at gunpoint. Now, she spoke with KSAT Investigates' Daniela Ibarra about this entire incident. Daniela is joining us right now on GMSA at 9 o'clock. All right, first of all, Daniela, how is Joy doing this morning?
She's doing a lot better. She says that this interview is something that she didn't even think she could do last year, but she's still traumatized by this whole incident. So she lived here in San Antonio for about a year. She says she actually lived here because she was selected to be a military training instructor at Lackland Air Force Base, and she had to leave that job because of what happened here. And she says that she's been deployed more than 8 times, but says that doesn't compare to what happened that July morning of 2024. She's been diagnosed with PTSD, and like I said, she had to give up her job that she was selected, handpicked to do here at Lackland.
Yeah, and I can imagine that it was very difficult for her to do this interview. But on the other side of things, what are San Antonio police saying may have happened this morning?
Yeah, so they say that this was a result of human error, and records show that the officer who actually initiated the stop incorrectly entered Hebron's license plate number. So we asked the city for body camera footage of that stop. The city actually asked the Attorney General's office to withhold that because this lawsuit is still going on right now.
Okay, so let's kind of jump off to that point. Where is this lawsuit standing right now as you continue to do this investigation?
Yeah, so there are still files being filed in this case. The lawsuit is still going through the legal system right now. The city of San Antonio, though, has filed a motion to dismiss that lawsuit, but of course, Joy Hebron and her attorney are trying to fight that, and they want this case to go forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniela. We will continue to follow this. I know that you will have this is tonight on the Night Beat, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So make sure to check that out tonight at 10 o'clock on the KSAT 12 Night Beat. And again, thank you very much to Daniela for this story and for joining us on GMSA at 9 o'clock. Moving on to some of our other top stories this morning. A San Antonio police officer now facing 3 felony counts for injury to a child and is now on administrative leave. SAPD says that Officer Jacob Ryan turned himself into the Bexar County Sheriff's Office after a warrant was issued for off-duty incidents that allegedly happened back in 2024. So according to a KSAT Investigates story, Ryan is the 8th SAPD officer arrested in 2025, this year alone, and the 2nd officer arrested just this month. According to court records that we obtained, Ryan is accused of hitting the same juvenile 3 different times in 2024. Bexar County Jail records indicate that Ryan is now released from custody. Okay, another one of our top stories here. A Runge ISD employee out on jail this morning after being accused of having an improper relationship with a student. The Karnes County Sheriff's Office says that Andrea Melba Rodriguez, see a photo over there, was taken into custody on Monday and charged with tampering with evidence. According to investigators, Rodriguez confessed to having a relationship with a student at one of the middle schools. They also say that Rodriguez destroyed evidence and could face additional charges. Now, we reached out to Runge ISD to see if she is still employed with the district, but have not heard back just yet. All right, taking a look at live cam. Things temperature-wise in the low 60, but we got some clear skies out there. Justin, what should people expect on this Wednesday, hump day?
It's going to be beautiful again, albeit a little warm for some of us. November, we would hope for something maybe a little cooler than the 80s, but I think that's where we're headed. Right now, we're in the low 60s, so still pretty nice out there. Good news in regards to the pollen count. Moles are low at 250, and honestly, that's about as low as you get when it comes to mold levels. So you want to talk about basically pollen allergen free. That's where we stand right now. It won't stay that way, as we know, as we get further into November and December, but good for the moment. Big picture here across the country, it's still very, very little going on. We're kind of in between storm systems, but there is one looming just off the west coast, and that is one that will bring some active weather to the west coast. Unfortunately, it does not bring us much here. Forecast, 76 noontime, and by 2 o'clock, 80. 81 is going to be our high this afternoon, clear skies, and then down into the 70s tonight, but not so cool tomorrow morning. We'll see humidity levels stay up, and that will keep temperatures up. In fact, we're going to have a lot of humidity. We'll take a look at those numbers and look ahead to next week as well, coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, quick check of our traffic with our traffic authority as you're making your way out at 9:34 in the morning. A little bit slow going there, that part of the city, as some of our folks make their way out this morning. Traffic has actually not been too bad. Still dealing with construction on the downtown area. Also on the far west side, we had an accident that we are clearing out. 1604 at Culebra Road.
I would say a majority of our intakes come from school personnel. They are the ones that see the majority of our children, anywhere from 4 or 5 days a week.
And you heard it right there. School staff and educators are a vital part of protecting kids in our community from child abuse and neglect. And the number of reports made to the state increases every summer when kids return to school. But what's happening now that kids are getting ready to go on holiday vacation? The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services reported a 14% decrease in reports of child abuse in November of last year. And they expect a similar decrease as kids leave the classroom and are not around adults as much again during the November, December, and January timeframe. This is why that they are counting on the community and community members, neighbors, church volunteers to pay attention to any signs of child abuse and neglect and report it.
You don't have to be a professional to see when a child's behavior changes, or to see when they have drastic mood changes, to see when their appearance changes, or even if they start talking about things that are concerning. Malnourishment shows up in maybe dull hair, your skin isn't looking as fresh, or even sunken eyes. And so those physical changes also, not only the behavior changes when you have a child that goes from being a very loving, a very attentive child, a very talkative and engaging child, potentially to one that maybe backs away.
Okay, so those are some potential signs. Also, you're asked to look out for unexplained injuries in odd places, explanations that are not consistent with those injuries as well. Also, look for a lack of personal hygiene or unaddressed dental and medical needs. If you suspect that a child may need some help, report it to the Texas Abuse Hotline. That number is 800-252-5400. Caseworkers say that it may be that the family is undergoing some sort of financial stress, and that they can also step in to connect with that family and give them some assistance. Okay, health alerts here. This next story isn't just a recall alert. It's about infants' health and safety. The company called ByHeart, which makes organic baby formula, is recalling all of its products because they could be linked to a botulism outbreak. The FDA says that since August, at least 15 babies across 12 states, including Texas, have been hospitalized after consuming ByHeart's powdered infant formula. Now, to be clear, no deaths have been reported because of the formula, but parents who feed their children this formula are concerned because botulism can be life-threatening. It's a bacterial infection that can lead to muscle paralysis and affect breathing in other parts of the body. With babies, it's even more delicate because they cannot explain how they're feeling.
If the baby's been exposed to this particular formula and they're seeing any symptoms that show that the baby seems weaker, a weaker cry, a weaker suck, difficulty feeding, most definitely difficulty breathing, would mean you absolutely need to seek medical care immediately.
Well, the Centers for Disease Control says at least 2 babies in Texas have been hospitalized in this botulism outbreak. ByHeart is sold online and at stores like Target, Walmart, and Whole Foods. Okay, another bit of a health alert here. There have been 19 confirmed cases of rabies in Bexar County. Most of those have been in bats. However, 3 rabid foxes have now been found on the north side of the county. The Bexar County Health Department confirms that another fox with rabies was captured on Invitation Oak, that is in the TPC Parkway and Bulverde Road area. That makes 3 rabid foxes within just a 10-mile radius. County leaders are telling people who live in rural areas or close to green spaces to be careful, extra careful when they leave their pets outside. Okay, time now is 9:38. We're looking at 61 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9 o'clock. And coming up in just a bit, check this out. A new invention that could help doctors and nurses in times of emergencies. After the break, we're going to tell you how this all works and what makes it so simple. Welcome back to GMSA at 9 o'clock. Well, this is an invention that was created to help doctors and nurses avoid confusion during an emergency and potentially avoid medication mistakes as well. Our very own Myra Arthur spoke with the woman who created it, who shows us just how simple it is. Go ahead and take a look.
So in 50% of the facilities, there's nothing used at all.
No labels at all.
No labels at all. Some people, this is a nurse workaround.
A piece of tape or a sticker used to label medication in an IV bag.
So this can get wet and it can smudge. You can't read it. You can't depend on it.
Elizabeth Friedman is the founder and CEO of Safin, the company that developed these. plastic tags to clearly label what kind of medication is flowing through an IV line.
58% of medication errors with IV lines is due to line labeling confusion.
Meaning people just don't know
just
what the
confused.
medication is.
Correct. The tag has a channel on the inside for the line to sit inside, and it clips on. That's it.
That's
it's
it?
one clip. That's it. And
That's
it just
so
sits there.
simple.
It's so simple. This communication is visual and it's tactile, and there is no technology in it.
You can see it, you can feel it.
Circles are for non-high alert. Triangles mean high alert. Here's the insulin tag. Here's our sedation tag, and these can be felt through 2 gloves.
Friedman says these tags are not just for nurses and doctors, they're for patients too.
It gives you the opportunity to have some knowledge of what you're receiving. You, the patient, or the patient advocate.
Safe-In tags have been on the market for about a year and are being used in medical facilities in several states.
What is your hope for this product?
I wanted to make the world a safer place for all patients, and one day we will all be a patient somewhere, sometime, somehow.
Use the phones now. I know.
And that was Myra Arthur reporting there. Okay, we were talking about Worst Fest coming up this weekend. Obviously, the second weekend of Worst Fest, but also have a Spurs game tonight, taking on the Warriors. They're going to rock those Fiesta jerseys today.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I love and I was looking through all the NBA jerseys because they all do the city jerseys.
City
and
edition.
There's a lot of cool ones, but you know, I'm biased. San Antonio's is the best. Just is.
Yeah.
Yes, in Worst Fest, weather's been good so far. I think it really stays that way. If you're going this weekend, you may sweat a little bit, but you know, everyone will be having fun doing the polka and eating great food out there at Worst Fest. Temperatures will likely be in the 80s this weekend, but let's talk about today. By next hour, we should be in the upper 60s. By noontime, 76, 80 at 2 o'clock, and a high temperature will be right around 81 with sunny skies. Dew point trend. Well, this is going to be important because it already is getting more humid. We saw that this morning, but the trend is for that dew point and humidity only to go up. And I think by the weekend, it's going to be muggy. So not only will we have warm temperatures, but it'll just feel sticky outside. And, you know, the hope is that we would get a front at some point, and that would stir up some storms, and then we would get the humidity to go away. But any sort of front is going to hold off, it looks like, until late next week. So we're in for a pretty long stretch here of humid conditions. And also when we get the humidity, we have to be concerned about fog. Now, we did not see a whole lot this morning. We called for patchy fog, really didn't see it. But I think tomorrow there is a little better setup for it. So we'll call for some dense fog, at least in spots, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow, and we may see another round of patchy fog on Friday. This would just affect the morning commute. And if it occurs, of course, we'll be here to let you know about it. Low temperatures are also being affected by the humidity. So by tomorrow morning, look at our low. We're only talking about 59 here, and most places in the 50s. That is a wild change from just 2 days ago where we were in the 30s and had freezing temperatures. So that's what humidity and moisture can do for you. And we'll see those morning lows continue to moderate. Now, I don't think we're going to have any clouds in the way tonight. If you want to go check out the aurora, which I know we've talked a lot about, but it is something everyone's talking about, I think, here in San Antonio and South Texas, and really across the country, and the world for that matter. But Elena sent this picture in from Pipe Creek, and you can see the colors there, very cool. And we anticipate getting a lot more pictures like this on our KSAT Connect that we can share with you tomorrow, especially if we can get this, if this storm ends up being a little bit stronger, we get some even better colors around here. But we are expecting it to be another strong storm tonight, so another blast of activity arrives. And the colors are forecast to be visible again tonight with the phone camera, not to the naked eye, but you'll see more scenes like this one. This is a real picture here submitted on KSAT Connect. So it was fantastic, especially outside of the city lights. Outside, here in San Antonio right now, 61, 62 New Braunfels, 64 Converse. We are starting to see more of a southerly wind kick in, and so that continues to usher in moisture into the area. All right, Futurecast. This is the low that we were hoping would bring us some rain this weekend. It is not going to be the case. This low not only weekends, but it moves so far north now. Every model run, this thing kept moving further north now. By Monday, this is up near Nebraska. That's not going to do anything for us. But what it does do as it moves east, it does help to push a frontal boundary south into Texas. Now, I think there's a question as to when this actually moves through or if it does at all. But either way, with a boundary here, say Tuesday and Wednesday, I do think that will get us a few isolated showers and storms. So we've added a small rain chance Tuesday, but that's about all we can give you. Again, if you're headed out over the weekend, no big deal. The rain chance is, again, 20% Tuesday. Otherwise, it is rain-free all the way through into early next week. So let's look at the big picture here. All together, morning fog, next few days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Temperatures impressively warm. The average right now, low 70s, and we're forecasting to make the mid 80s here. And overnight lows will be in the 60s. So this is warm all the way around. But yes, Worst Fest this weekend or any day this week should be just fine, or whatever activity you have going on. Not very November-like.
Absolutely, yes, Justin. And you know what? Again, it is November, even though it doesn't feel like it outside, but we're getting it ready for Thanksgiving. I know that a lot of plans are already being made. So let's check in with our folks down at SA Live. I think they're going to be talking a little bit of turkey today, Justin. If you're not already hungry, probably now you are. Jen, how are things going?
I know. Yes, actually, our question today is about turkey because we are talking Cajun turkey on the show today. So we wanted to ask the people, you guys included, roasted, smoked, fried, turducken, or tofu. I don't even know how to say that. Tofurkey. There we go. Tofurkey.
Yeah.
Which one?
You guys are brave to even put that on there because
I was thinking the same thing.
that number may go into the negative. I didn't know it was possible for percentages, but
I know. I agree.
you know, I'm a traditional guy. I would say roasted for me.
I go roasted also, but I would love to try the turducken. That's the combination, right, of the duck with the turkey. I sound like John Madden now. Like, boom, you got your turkey.
Yeah, I've only ever seen that on football. The football.
Yeah.
But I've never actually seen it in real life. So
yeah,
maybe.
that'd be nice. Maybe we'll book it on the show. We can all try it.
There you go.
And you guys can just come over here.
I'll be first in line, Jen, if you guys get that. Yeah.
I'm going to work on that for you, RJ. Yes, so let us know, scan the QR code and weigh in. Oh, somebody voted. There we go. Yeah, I don't know about poor tofurkey.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's
not
jumping
going to do
in
well.
on
I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Turkey train or whatever.
We'll see. We'll see. We had to give everybody an option there. Okay, thanks, guys. Now we are talking magic. We have Max the Mentalist here in studio with us. Okay, wait. You got a trick ready. Should we just get into that?
Let's go right into it. Start with a quick little warm up here. I want you to reach and take out any card that you want. Not that one. I'm kidding. Take that card out. Show it to the camera. I'll turn away so I cannot cheat.
Okay. There,
you got it?
He's not looking. He's not. Yes, I got it.
Perfect. Put that card face down for me.
Okay.
Now, you've seen a lot of magicians before.
I sure have.
So you know that my job is to lose that card and find it again. It's significantly more difficult when the cards get mixed, but I think I can find your card, Jen, in one cut. That's all it takes.
Okay.
Actually, it's a triple cut. I lied. I'm glad you liked it, though. I got your card right here on top of the deck. Lucky Queen of Diamonds.
No.
Really?
No, sorry. No, that's not it.
That's fine. Give me one more chance. Hold your hand like this for me.
Okay.
One more chance. One more cut.
Okay.
One more queen. Wait. If this is the queen, what's in your hand?
No. Don't you dare. Oh my gosh. There it is.
Jack of Hearts. Yes?
Yes, that is it. But how did you do that? Okay, here we go. I'll give it back.
We want to try something one more real quick.
Sure.
Take this marker for me.
Okay.
Sign your name on that Jack of Hearts. That's perfect. I'll take that marker back. And Jen, do you know how to snap your fingers?
Yeah.
Go for it. That's good. Double snap, too. That's all we need for this to work. We're going to place that Jack more or less into the center of the pack. I'd say maybe a little bit lower. I'll show you it's not on top. That's a queen. It's not on the bottom.
No.
When you want this to work, snap those fingers.
Okay.
The moment you do is the moment your card jumps back to the top with that signature on it. Watch carefully. Keep the camera on this. I can't cheat because the camera doesn't blink. Watch that card in the center. In it goes. Snap those fingers.
That's my snap, sorry.
The moment you do is the moment that name jumps back.
Okay.
We'll do this one last time. Do not take your eyes off that Jack.
We're out of time. Okay,
Jen,
go.
Go ahead and push it somewhere in the middle.
Okay. In here?
Yeah, push it in the middle. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
They're rushing me. Okay.
No. Lift up.
Okay,
We got it.
we'll be back with more SA Live. What? How did you?